Hello friends! Today I'm working with a brand new PageMap sketch from the summer 2022 issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today. I really love the tickets on the right side of the page and the amount of photos that you get to use on the sketch. So I am playing with the beautiful Life Right Now collection from Pink Fresh Studio, and the first thing that I notice is that I have this ticket paper. So I want to use those tickets to mimic the tickets in the sketch. So I am cutting a piece of close to my heart sapphire cardstock down to 8.5 inches by 11, and I'm cutting a piece of smooth white cardstock a half of an inch smaller so that I have that 1/4 of an inch frame on all sides. I want to keep to the same amount of photos that are in the sketch. So I've sized them just at the same size or slightly larger because I want to kind of maximize the space I have there for my photos. And usually I gauge that on the detail that I want in the photo. Now, this photo of my husband and my daughter was a landscape orientation photo, and I'm going to cut it to a square here. And because I cut off my white border, I'm going to go ahead and back that with some smooth white cardstock, the same that I cut off for my background. And I always think that a white border just helps the photo to stand out from the page, and I think it gives it a really nice clean look. So I'm arranging my photos as per the sketch and just getting these squares in here. I'm going to put the photos on the right a little bit higher than the one on the left along with my title block. Then I want to cut out the tickets that really mean something to the story of this layout. And I also want to think about the color scheme that I want to use as well. Because these tickets are all different colors, then I can kind of choose here what color scheme I ultimately want to use. So I've opted to go with a gray, a red, a light blue, and a navy ticket here. I also want to be sure that I'm getting some horizontal action on this layout as well. If I only have the vertical, then it's kind of taking away from my photos. And what I'm doing here is just playing with, I like to have things even. So from the top to the bottom, I really like things to be quite even. So I'm just playing with what would happen here if I cut one of the tickets in half to put that on the bottom, and then did another half along the top. So that's what I'm doing now. It's just playing with dimensions really. Okay, so this pattern fits really beautifully across the layout and adds a little bit more interest to the background with that kind of tone on tone pattern, so it's not overwhelming. I want to, go along with the sketch and put my title frame right in here. So just above my photo on the left side there. The only thing, I'm using the chipboard frames right now, which are really fun, but it doesn't leave a ton of room for my title. So I'm just having a play around with what size I think I need to fit my title. So when it comes to titles, I really like to do something a bit out of the ordinary, mix and match fonts, come up with a title that kind of introduces the story without giving it away. So I'm going to name this layout Life's a Picnic. And I'm seeing here that this frame is quite small when it comes to the word picnic. So what I'm going to do instead is use this striped pattern paper to back my title. I really liked that that frame brought in a lot of different colors. So I'm essentially going to do the same thing with this amazing pattern paper and just top it with my title, but you'll see how I kind of make my title the focus. Now, another fun thing that you can do with this striped pattern paper is decide which stripes you want to use. So I went with the stripes only in the colorways that I've chosen for this layout. So green, light blue, navy, red. So that's really fun. You can mix and match on this one sheet of pattern paper and decide what you want to use. So if you have a heavy pattern and you want to put something on top of it, my number one go-to is vellum. So I am topping this with a piece of vellum so that you can see the colors on the outside of that piece of vellum, and adding my title right to the top of that. So it's going to be Life's a Picnic, and picnic is going to just fit on this piece of vellum. Maybe just a tiny little overlap here, and I'll make sure that that is even on all sides. But I really like having that title area, right where it is in the sketch. It's a really great place to balance because you have all those tickets on the right side, so we're balancing that with this kind of burst of color on the left side. Now, I found that grocery bag and I thought that that was absolutely perfect because it had a baguette in there, some groceries, and that's kind of what we did. We just threw a random picnic together for my husband's birthday because we had a baby, and so we couldn't really do much. Another thing I want to do is add some of these amazing die cut shapes to the layout, and I'm looking for some that kind of fit with the theme of this layout about getting outdoors, doing something kind of spontaneous, having fun, nature, that sort of thing. So some of these floral die cuts would be absolutely perfect. The puffy stickers are beautiful, but nothing's really jumping out at me. This die cut says Little Joys, and that's kind of perfect for this layout. All about something very simple, but it brought us lots of joy. And I love doing things in threes, so I'm pulling out three different floral die cuts. I have the floral die cuts package now to get one or two more that I really love the look of. And I'm just kind of tucking those into my layers here. These will create a visual triangle so that it kind of draws your eye through the page, makes the things in the center of that triangle the most important. Really kind of highlights the photos. At the top right hand corner, I added a piece of the striped pattern paper again with a torn edge this time to give it a little bit more texture. And because it has a blunt edge on the left, I want to cover that up so that it looks intentional. So I'm looking through my cardstock stickers, my die cuts, to see what options I had here to cover up that edge with something interesting. And I really like using that ticket shape again, but this time I'm going to layer over the top of it so it looks a little bit different. I also want to add my journaling right here at the bottom right space right there. So I'm just going to grab a ruler and a pencil and kind of mark out where that journaling is to go. And then I will add the journaling in my Adobe Photoshop Elements so that I can print that out. Because this is an 8.5 inch by 11 inch layout, it's quite easy for me to print that out on my standard printer. So I have a torn edge at the top right, but I also wanted to add a little bit more texture with some machine stitching underneath my title word picnic. Now I'm going to use my favorite Hazel typewriter alphabet from LE Studio to add the rest of my title to the vellum. Because it's vellum, I'm using Stays On ink, which is a permanent ink. So I'm stamping out Life's A, and it's going to be Life's a Picnic. Now it's time for me to adhere everything together once my design has been finalized. I'm using the scrapbook.com tape adhesive to adhere those awesome tickets down on the side. I always find it's easier to use a metal spatula to take off the backing off of that adhesive. Makes it much quicker to get through. You'll notice here that I did even up my tickets, but I'm just just swapping out the direction of colors that I'm taking with them, just to get it a bit more the neutral at the top and the darker hues at the bottom. Adding in that multicolor stripe here at the top, I really love the extra color that adds there. And I also love that I didn't add any adhesive underneath the torn area, so that I can really ruffle that up and give it a lot more texture. The ticket is going to go right on the end of that striped pattern paper there, and I am adding a quick getaway die cut to the top of that. It really wasn't a getaway, it was just, a walk, 40-minute walk for us to go have a picnic and then walk home. So that was as adventurous as we got with a 3-week-old. So going ahead and adhering my photos down. Now some of them I'm going to adhere with dimensional adhesive and some of them with regular adhesive. I'm lining up the square photo on the top with my title tag there on the left side, and then this photo on the left using dimensional adhesive because that is kind of my favorite photo of the entire layout. It's pretty amazing that I got 3 photos on an 8.5-inch by 11-inch page, and I still do have them large enough that I can see the detail there. So this chipboard flare piece says great day, and I love how it fills in that little gap there from the left side of my journaling. So we did take our big fluffy golden retriever on this adventure with us, and I really like this chipboard die cut that's in the frames pack that says hanging out. So I'm going to, start adding a few embellishments on the top of my photos, around my photos, to give them a bit more interest. This page has a lot going on, so it really doesn't need much more. And when I say a lot going on, I mean it has a lot of colors, it has a lot of elements, but in a really great grid format, which is always the way to kind of make things seem a lot less chaotic when you put things in a grid. That weekend puffy sticker is perfect there at the top, and you can see how when I put that there, I made a nice visual triangle with the weekend sticker, the little joys sticker and bag, die cut and bag, and that red tag at the bottom. The last thing I'm going to add are the Life Right Now enamel dots. These coordinate perfectly with the collection, and I'm just adding a few of those around my embellishment groupings. I really like this page. It makes me super happy. I don't think I would have come up with this layout design had it not been for a fantastic PageMaps sketch. And I hope you guys will take advantage of those beautiful sketches that are in each of our issues of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. You can see how I used the same elements that are in the sketch, just in my own way. And I really love how it turned out using the Life Right Now collection from Pink Fresh Studio. It's bright, it's fun, it's definitely me, and I really love it, and I hope you do too. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Be sure to check out Scrapbook and Cards Today and all of the inspiration, sketches, all the good things that we have to offer at the link in the video notes. And be sure to share what you create with our PageMap sketches by using the hashtag SCT Magazine on social media.